Hi guys, welcome to the mix. Here today to introduce you to a brand new protein shake, and not only that, a brand new brand to the mix. So we're talking about Olympus Labs here and their superior proteins. Just come out, and we had to dash this one in. We'll tell you why shortly. But this brand is very distinctive. It's known the world over for making some very, very powerful, well-dosed, effective pre-workouts and things. Protein, though, this is the first time they've gone there. And yeah, they've got a sort of ancient Greek classical come futuristic thing going on. So incredibly striking tubs across the entire range. So obviously caught our eye. But the cool thing is, what's inside is just as epic as the glorious look on the outside here with the goddess and the black holes and all sorts of other things. So we have 5 flavours. We'll run through those in a sec, but the key thing, we're going to jump right in here because we love our inclusions, we love our, as I say, unique proteins and products, and yeah, these really fulfill that brief for us, our tastes, our palate, whatever it is. And yeah, 4 out of 5 of these, we wish it were 5, but 4 out of 5 have got glorious real cereal pieces in. So that's fantastic fun. We're going to show you that in a second, actually. We're actually going to shake some of these up. Yeah, flavour-wise, then let's just introduce some of these. Mocha Mermaid is what I'm waving around at you here. So that's a sort of chocolate protein with a coffee edge to it. We have got, yeah, some of the flavour names are really, really fun as well. Not My Gumdrop Buttons. This is a gingerbread protein. Wow. And that's got cinnamon cereal pieces in. We've got Why So cereal. And that's a blueberry toaster pastry Pop-Tart fruity protein. We've got Toucan Twist, which is a Froot Loops cereal style protein, and that's fantastic. It's a mixed fruit flavour going on there. And last but not least, we've got Smashin' Crunch. So that's a chocolate peanut butter, and that's the one actually that doesn't have inclusions, but the flavour is so rich and creamy and everything, it really doesn't need it. We are going to... yeah, we're going to mix this up in a sec, but why would you want this protein? What's so awesome about what's in it? Well, it's a fully disclosed blend, so you see exactly what's going on in there. You know the exact yielded protein amount. So I think it's 23 grams of protein a serving you get. Yes, it is. It's pretty low fat, it's pretty low sugar. There are carbs in it, slightly more than you might expect, purely because the cereal pieces, but we would deem that easily worth it. What's kind of cool, we always look for this in the mix, it's a mixed blend protein. So it's 50% casein and 50% whey protein concentrate. That's fairly novel. So we have seen 50% casein and 50% isolate before, but to go with a concentrate here as well, it actually bumps up the creaminess you'd expect from a casein mixed blend, mixed source, you know, sustained release protein powder, even more so. So I mean, we always prefer these protein powders because not only do they fuel your muscles over a longer period of time, but they mix up more thick, milkshake-like, and whether you're putting it in oats and putting it into yogurt and stuff like that, it's a great base for that too. Certainly far more so than an isolate, and even more so than whey protein concentrate on its own. Casein, micellar casein, has a slight reputation of being a little bit grainy. This is nothing like that. They've got a really, really fine blend. So yeah, it mixes up fine, shakes fine, you'll see now. And obviously the cereal pieces in it. So that said, we're going to jump in. We're probably not going to go for the Maca Mermaid. That's got Cocoa Pebbles style cereals in that one. We are obviously going to go with Not My Gumdrop Buttons, the gingerbread one, the madly named gingerbread one. So how do we get into these tubs? It's all ringed with classical characters and figures on the top there. There we go. And there's some water we poured out earlier. Okay, fresh tub. Here we go. Hey, diving in there. Fish around for a scoop. So what's that? It's a 35 gram. Oh, we're going to make a nice mess with these. Always good fun. 25 gram serving. Did I say 25 gram serving? 34 grams. So yeah, so there's 25 servings a tub you get here. See, I did this backwards, didn't I? I should have opened that. You see, this is actually the first video we've done where we've made up a shake. So you have to bear with me a little bit. So scoop with that. Protein powders, if you look at the instructions, yep, making a mess, they will always tend to suggest a certain amount of liquid to mix with, whether it's usually water is kind of fine. I always mix up with water because it gives you the best idea of what the powder itself is doing. They will tend to say the amount of liquid they suggest mixing the serving of powder with, and it tends to be around about 300 mils. That's what I've done here. Some say 200, some say 400. It's to taste, really. If you find a protein too sweet or too thick, then just put more liquid in there. If you find it too thin, like isolates, for example, will typically be mixed with more like 200 mils, but that's kind of a shot. That's even less than what we've got here. So yeah, it's mileage may vary in terms of what you do it with. Anyway, I've gone with 300 here. I always tend to mix up shakes probably slightly longer, and that's why I prefer mixed blend ones, because they will take the extra liquid, especially the casein. Anyway, right. That is done. Let's drop that back in there. So nothing too remarkable to show you as yet. Protein powder sitting on the top. Give that a quick shake. That protein action. There you go. Okay. So, right, Millie's going to bring the camera in to show some of these things going on here. I haven't even got the sieve in here, to be honest, so you can see it actually mixes fine with that. The little bits and pieces you're seeing hanging around, those are the cereal pieces. So, if you bring the camera in, I'm going to open the lid to show this one. There you go. You dive in. How great does that look? It actually looks like cereal milk. So all these proteins have the richness, the creaminess of a cereal milk, and this is just with water. Obviously, if you mix it up with unsweetened almond milk's a popular choice, or coconut milk, or anything like that, it'll be even thicker. So I'm going to try this. Yeah, it's really, really nice. It's obviously, otherwise we wouldn't sell it. They're actually not as sweet as you might think, especially given the cereals in there. So it's not as sweet as some of the American powders we bring in that might appeal, but obviously the novelty factor is kicked up by the cereal in it. The cereal in it has an element of crispness, so it's not just mushy. It will eventually go that way, but I like to drink these shakes in particular quite quickly, so you get the crunch of the crisp and everything, and it really does convey that nostalgic, childlike feeling of having cereal milk. It's this kind of the leftover in the bowl of Frosties or Rice Krispies or whatever it may be, that always brings back fond memories for me, brings a big smile to your face, and it's fantastic to put that into a gym supplement protein thing. These guys have done this almost better than anyone else I've seen. So it's superior in that regard. Anyway, the flavour of this one, yes, there's ginger in there. They call it gingerbread. It's definitely leaning more on sweetness than spiciness, and the cereal, I would guess, is this kind of cinnamon cereal going on in here. So there's an element of curiously cinnamon grams. And yeah, it offsets it perfectly. So yes, it is spiced, but it's more sweet than that. If you're afraid of a fiery ginger, it isn't that. Easily drinkable and keeps it very interesting. Yep, amazing texture, amazing mixability. You don't have any lumps in there. The only bits you've got in there are the cereals, and that's exactly what you want. So there you go. Yeah, we have a bunch of cinnamony protein powders in the mix. And certainly ones with sort of a snickerdoodle edge to it. This is definitely pulled back from that. It's not as sweet, and the ginger angle on it as well makes it nicely unique. So that's why we pulled this one out. The other one we're going to do here, and that's mainly because it really blew me away. Really blew me away as a fruit protein. I'm not a fruit protein guy at all. None of my favourite proteins have ever been fruit-based. There it is. So Toucan Twist. This is the Froot Loops cereal. This one, yeah, really blew me away as well. Not to mention it's colourful and extra fun. And Froot Loops is one of those. It's mainly a North American cereal, but you can get it here in the UK. But I spent a good few years in Canada at university, and it was one of my favourites when I was out there. So trying this really brought back memories for that of that to me straight away. I used to buy it all the time. Oh yeah, multicoloured. You can see it straight in the tub as you're going in there. I could try and show that on camera, I suppose, but let's just go with mixing it up. So, fresh shaker. Let's lose this guy over here. That'll make more of a hideous mess. There you go. Again, 300 mils. Fish around. Where's the scoop? This one's obviously been shook up in transit a little bit. There we go. There's a lot of cereal in here. You're going to love this, guys. So, there it is. Let's take more or less a full scoop there. Just to show you how this works. Put the lid on. Okay. Yeah, you'll start seeing the colours infuse here. Again, ends up looking more cereal milky than anything else, but with the cereal pieces in, give it a shake. Yeah, I mean, I'm chief mixer in the mix, so I guess mixing is my forte. Something like that. And there you go. Oh, God, there's really powder everywhere here. Gonna have fun cleaning this up afterwards. Oh, instant citrusy Froot Loops scent comes through here along with the coloured cereals. It is a mixed fruit. But the first thing you'll get is a kind of, yes, orange is the one that comes through. But if you've had real Froot Loops, you'll know that's exactly authentic. And this is by far the closest to real Froot Loops I've ever had in a protein like this. So if Millie brings this one in again. That's sure to bring a smile to your face. Look how mad that is. I mean, it's called Toucan Twist, and we're saying Froot Loops. Froot Loops is the flavour, but if you've had Fruity Pebbles cereal, I think that's what it's called. It's a bit more like that because the cereal pieces are smaller, but it's the exact same texture, exact same crunch, and that's the signature note you get through. I've already gone on a lot about this, but this is one of my favourites to give it a try. Easily drinkable. Again, not as sweet as you might fear. You almost don't know there's a casein in there, but it's just, you know, it's doing that extra stuff for you in terms of sustained release. So it's a great pre-bedtime one. It'll mix up great as well. Casein tends to add stability. So if you want to try mucking around baking these things, not only with the cereal things, be quite good fun, but it'll be a little bit more stable. If you go with certainly an isolate's the worst or a concentrate, things tend to explode with heat. These won't. And yeah, this is, I'm going to easily say this is probably my favourite, certainly mixed fruity protein I've ever had. And there's so much here to keep interest, not to mention all the colourful little bits flying around all around the shaker when you have this one. So there you have it, guys. I'm not going to go through the other three flavours, but suffice it to say, the Wiso cereal, that's blueberry, so it's exactly the same little pieces as this, but kind of blueberry flavoured, crunchy little cereal pieces. The Mocha Mermaid, again, chocolate crunch in that one, and the coffee's quite subtle, so if you're not a big fan of coffee flavour, don't necessarily be put off by the Mocha Mermaid. It's mainly a kind of creamy milk chocolate protein shake with it's just there's an extra dimension from the coffee there, so it's no caffeine or anything, it's just the flavouring system, but quite novel again, and yeah, don't let the caffeine scare you, it's really nice. And then the Smashing Crunch, which has got yeah, real peanut flour and stuff coming through there. In terms of a chocolate peanut butter shake, we've had many that lean more heavily on the peanut flour, the peanut flavour takes over. This one is more of a chocolate one, again, milk chocolate with a peanut edge. So it's actually a very authentic sort of Reese's thing, which is mainly a milk chocolate taste that comes through. Anyway, yeah, all 5 flavours of Olympus Labs' Superior Protein are in the mix right now. There's a couple of things to mention in terms of the magic that Olympus Labs always add. There's a certain sprinkling of extra sciencey stuff going on in there, and they use something called velocitol and added digestive enzymes. Now, digestive enzymes you'll have seen in many proteins before. It's always something we like to see. It just avoids any kind of bloating, cramping, distress, or anything you might get from a lot of dairy that you get in a protein shake. So there's a whole range of digestive enzymes in there you can see spelled out, but they do the job nicely. Velocitol, a bit more interesting, and I'm not going to pretend I fully understand the ins and outs of it, but this is something that Olympus Labs put in a number of their products to aid uptake. It's about muscle protein synthesis. So the basic idea is when you have this along with the protein powder, I mean, they say the research they mention on the back, and I've been through, suggests almost an extra, it doubles the amount that your body will actually take in and process and makes its way to your muscles for recovery and everything else. Suffice it to say, aids absorption, and you're getting that much more from the protein you're taking in. You're really reaping the rewards of taking that from the supplement and everything. So, there you have it. Olympus Labs in the mix now, and we strongly suggest you give this one a try. It is fully unique, and for cereal protein, nothing else like this. It is out of this world and suitably epic. Thanks for watching, guys.